What's up, guys? How we doing? Let me hit this live stream going for a few seconds. Want to wait till we get a few people in here. We got some things rolling today that kind of came up unexpectedly. The Raiders have just released. Demerius Randall. Demerius Randall is a safety that's only got a couple years. He's a pretty young safety. Hadn't been in the league that long, but is a safety that could actually not help the Cowboys or anything. But I'm more concerned that possibly the Raiders are going to try to make a move for Reed or for Earl Thomas. That's the reason I'm looking at this. And sorry, it's kind of hard to read and give straight attention to the mic as well. But this just happened about breaking news about 10-15 minutes ago. Demerius Randall, he played for the Browns a couple years, had 4 interceptions his rookie year. I don't know if you guys recall, he had a really hot rookie season. He had 85 tackles, 13 assisted, so 72 solo, 4 interceptions and 59 yards, during those interceptions, but 2 TDs during his career. So he's a guy he's been a relatively sound safety. He had 2.5 sacks last year, 61 tackles, but not sure what the reason is of Oakland releasing him. But we'll see. It was just something I was kind of prepared to get on here and go over a few things anyways, because I was looking at the Ed Reed thing, and a lot of people are hot on Ed Reed. I am as well. I have no issues with us picking up Ed Reed. I just think what fits us better is the Earl Thomas situation, because I think he's falling into us, for a good price, as well as he's going to be a player that I think fits the team well. He's going to fit the locker room well. I have no concerns with that. So that's kind of why I was bringing that up. I also wanted to bring up, because we talked about Clinton Dix yesterday. We didn't really discuss how that developed and what I think transpired with Clinton Dix. He was actually brought in prior to the draft. If you guys recall, prior to the draft, the way the NFL is set up, you have that season prior to the draft, or actually it's kind of the way it plays out. Prior to the draft, you have those players that are picked up, that you sign guys, you release guys, you kind of look to see what you're looking at in the draft. And Clinton Dix, I think, was picked up prior to the draft, because I think the reason the Cowboys picked him up at that time was because they wanted to go into the draft with a little bit of a safety, like a buffer or a caution. That way they knew they didn't have to jump out and get a safety in the draft if one fell. But then again, if a great safety falls to you in the 2nd or 3rd round, and he's supposed to be a 1st or 2nd rounder, and you're sitting there in the 3rd or 4th, he's still there, you take that guy. So that's the concern, or that's what happened as far as Clinton Dix coming into the team. And then we rolled into the season. You guys know we're really young at safety, other than Xavier Woods and Jeff Heath, who is gone now. So with those interactions and all that development going on at safety, Clinton Dix really actually had a very good, solid chance of staying with this team. So the fact that he got pushed out by these young guys and pushed out by the situation with a couple free agents being out there, whether it be Eric Reed or it be Earl Thomas, I just think Earl Thomas fits us a lot better, because I think he's going to come in at a better price, and also I think he's going to be just as good a player, I think, as Eric Reed actually. I just think he had an off season last year. The volume. Oh, I apologize. 1 second, guys. See, I didn't even. Thanks, guys. Who hit that for me? Can you turn your volume up some? Milton, appreciate it, Milt, my boy. What's up, man? How you doing, man? Thank you. That should be better. Yeah, E.T. Phone Jones. E.T. Phone Home, or E.T. Phone Jones, is a big thing's being said today. Bring Earl Thomas home. That's what I say, guys. I think what he needs is an intervention. Let me know if that sounds a little better. Um, the Eric Reed thing, uh, it could play out that way just as well. I just think that Earl Thomas is something that we're going to get a great deal with Earl Thomas. I don't think he's going to ask for a ridiculous price or anything like that. So the other notes I did make on the Earl Thomas thing today is I think it gets done today, and the main reason I think it gets done is because we've got to get this guy through the COVID protocols. We've also got to get him on the field a little bit, get him in practice, and we're too young at safety. I just think it's completely impossible that we move forward with Xavier Woods, who's going to be these soft tissue concerns like he had today. It really, really could linger on through the year. We see these guys try to come back early and they're back out again. It never really heals, so we don't know how bad that is. Yeah, Reed or Earl Thomas, I'm good with either one of those. I just think Earl Thomas fits us better for the main fact. I also don't think one of the reasons that I've highly believed that is Ed Reed kind of had the stuff with the national anthem. It was really a little more strong than normal, and I don't know where Jerry falls with that. I know he's okay this year. Everything's supposed to be slightly different. He's supposed to be giving these guys a little bit more leeway with that. So I reported that the Cowboys were supposed to meet with him today. Yeah, they mentioned that, and then Grady Dawson. What's up, Grady? How you doing, man? I hadn't seen you in a while. I know you were on here yesterday, I think, and I didn't get a chance to give you a shout out, so I apologize. But they also did mention that Jerry Jones wasn't aware of a meeting. But then again, those kind of things. Jerry Jones is not the he's the final he gives a final answer on things like this. There's no way that every time they want to have a meeting or they want to talk to a player, they go talk to Jerry Jones first and get his approval. Now, if it's done, undercover, not a lot of people are involved. They get this thing done without 105 the 3 the fan and all these reporters knowing about it. It's fine. But Jerry Jones is not going to put out information and let you know who they're talking to, and nor the Cowboys. So I wouldn't doubt that they have a meeting set up. I wouldn't doubt that Jerry Jones doesn't know about it. They'll come to him. Hey, we had a meeting with Earl Thomas. It looks good. These are the numbers we came back with, or this is the discussion we had. This is where he stands. I think that they will have him done within the next 48 hours. I stated that 72 hours is what I stated a few days ago, but I thought there would be interest in Earl Thomas, and I thought that would make it move a little quicker. When there was no other outside interest in Earl Thomas, it's kind of slow rolled. So now the fact is that we can see that there's not a huge interest in Earl Thomas because of the situations and everything that he's been through the last 2 years. It looks as if we can take our time on it. So that's how it kind of developed from what I see. But it looks like to me we're down to the final minutes with the COVID transitioning the players in from the COVID and everything they have to do for that, getting a physical. They'll probably be making a move, I think, today or tomorrow so that he could be at practice Monday or Tuesday. And, hey, guys, we're rolling up on a game. I will be doing a live stream during the Kansas City Texans game, just because first of all, it's my birthday. Second of all, it's the Texans. I'm from Houston. I kind of support them because I got a couple buddies there in Houston that support the Texans, and we like to argue and argue our Cowboys and Texas rival with the Houston Texans. So. Kevin Turner reported this now, who is in his sources. I've got him actually as one of the guys I report to or check on, and I actually don't have my phone here to check. But Jeff Kavanaugh's good. He's also reporting there. But those guys also have some insight. They get to see things a lot in practice that we don't get to see, but they're not allowed to. Yeah. No, but they definitely get to see a few things that we're not always out there to see. So I do think the Cowboys will get this done. I think there's a small possibility they're looking at Ed Reed, um, but it's not. I just think that Earl Thomas fits a lot better. So sorry guys, I'm looking down there at my notes. I wrote some stuff down. Earl Thomas because I was another get him 2 days. He's ready. Yeah, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to go over. You guys got any questions? Another situation we do need to look into is the swing tackle. Right now, I looked through the free agency market. There are literally no offensive linemen out there available to be picked up. Free agency or even trade situations a little different, but I think there were two guards have been cut at this point in time. No tackles. The Cowboys are the only ones that have cut that tackle. The young guy, I can't even remember his name. Kevin Turner works for the Athletic. He doesn't need a source since he is a. Oh yeah. That's we're tracking together every person I can follow. I've been following. I haven't done anything on my Twitter today, sent any messages, pulled anything up, but it was news that the Oakland Raiders released this guy. They did receive a little bit of money. It's actually really similar to what the Cowboys did. They released a safety that should have been a safety that would have been helping them. Demerius Randall is a younger safety, but he has enough under his belt. He's not a rookie, and Demarius Russell would have helped their team. I know that. So, not sure what the issue is. Why the Raiders released him? Are they going to go after Earl Thomas or Ed Reed? We'll have to wait and see. That's the only thing I wanted to get out really on the Earl Thomas situation. Nothing's changed as of now. We haven't heard anything other than Jerry Jones stated the fact that he knows nothing of a meeting today. It's not like he would admit that anyways. He wouldn't do that. When we had the DeMarcus Lawrence deal, I don't know if any of you guys were in here. I stayed up all night. It was like 4 in the morning actually over here in the Middle East where we were trying to wait until DeMarcus Lawrence signed. I did a 3-hour live stream waiting on that to happen, and we actually, during the live stream, DeMarcus Lawrence got signed, and so we had D-Law, the hot boy. He got his contract rolling, and I just figured it was going to happen because we had word that DeMarcus Lawrence was actually meeting with Jerry Jones that day, and then we got word that he was at the Star. DeMarcus Lawrence was inside the Star meeting with Jerry Jones, and when we got all of that, when you start throwing it together that way, and they start meeting, and they're face to face, that's when you realize, hey, that this is probably going to happen today. If it doesn't happen today, it's like one of those chances that maybe it just falls apart. And that's what happened last time when we tried to meet with Earl Thomas. We made an offer, and then the Ravens made an offer that he couldn't refuse. Eric Reed. I'm sorry. I keep saying Ed Reed, guys. I apologize. I've got E. Reed down here, and I've been going over the Earl Thomas thing all day. That's the final situation right now on Earl Thomas. I haven't seen anything other than that. I know that things will probably start peeling down on that in about the next 2 to 3 hours. I would guess if anything's going to happen today, we'll get some news in the next 2 to 3 hours that Earl Thomas is maybe in Dallas or they're meeting with him, or maybe everything's done over the phone. We'll see. It's really rare for those things to happen that way, especially when you have a player of concern, with concerns in the background. On a second topic, Randy Gregory. Also on 105.3 The Fan today, Jerry Jones did state that Randy Gregory, he works on that every other day. So every other day he's checking on the Randy Gregory situation and seeing what he could do to update with that. He said he's current on everything that's going on with the NFL and Randy Gregory, and he actually said, I feel very good about that situation. So that's another position we'll have to find. He definitely is a walk-on roster guy. He'll walk straight onto the roster, and it's just we'll have to find a spot for him. And when you have spots like that, that means you have to make sure you're letting go of the right guys, you're keeping the right guys. So as far as right now, the three big changes I see is finding the spot for Earl Thomas, getting them there, and how we get him there. The Randy Gregory situation and fixing the offensive line with the swing tackle. Brandon Knight is there. We released the young guy. He just didn't work out. I can't even recall his name. I had him pulled up earlier. But right now, as far as tackle, we have Tyron Smith. We have Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins and Brandon Knight. So we're not sitting real great at tackle as far as the whole situation with backup and reserves, and then Lyle Collins as well as Tyron Smith already having some issues this season. So staying healthy and staying in practice. Randy is getting screwed by the league. Good dude, never been in trouble, only weed. Yeah, it just seems to be that maybe he's messing with Jerry Jones. Maybe Roger Goodell doesn't see eye to eye on Jerry Jones on some issues, and that's why this thing is rolling out as long as it has. But it definitely should have been resolved prior to all this stuff going down. So I think I lost internet maybe. Do you have internet? I guess not. Yeah, I lost my internet.